Previously on Quest Friends Forever.
I am the mayor of Nountown. Welcome to my fine city. My name is Cadillac Margarita.
I do not trust this person.
There is a favor you could do for us here in return for our hospitality to you. There's a house a few miles outside of town. This house has been there as far back as anyone here can remember. No one's ever seen anyone go in or out. Recently we started thinking of building a new road out of town, you see. And this house just sits right where we want to build this fine road. So I sent two of my constituents to that house with a generous offer to purchase the place and the land around it if necessary. Thing is though, my two men never did come back. So about 4 days ago, I sent two of my deputies out there to investigate the situation. And wouldn't you know it, my deputies haven't come back yet either. So I'd like y'all, in return for my hospitality, to go out there and maybe bring my folks back.
It sounds like a non-consensual swindle.
You know, I don't know why you folks would be refusing such a humble request to help some innocent folks who are missing, especially with the protector of the druids in your midst. I hope you would agree, and I see that my hopes have been answered. I will see you when you get back. Once again, you four are being driven in your cart by Horse, and Horse, heading east in the direction of the mysterious house that Cadillac Margarita has tasked you with investigating. The modest farmlands of Nountown have started to give way to windswept plains of barren-looking dirt stretching out for miles in front of you. Whatever road the mayor was talking about building for city expansion, you can tell it's going to need to go far beyond this area, because there is nothing out here aside from cacti, the occasional tumbleweed, and sun rays so brutal they could even make Val thirsty.
Am I supposed to do a thing there? And I go,
ouch.
Sure. Jared and Ellie are riding the two front horses, driving the cart, while Stephanie sits in the back of the cart with Val, leafing through DJ's notebook. You've been traveling for about an hour now, waiting for this house to appear somewhere on the horizon. Ellie hasn't spoken since you left Nountown, but as the cart ambles over the dirt, she quickly looks behind her to make sure Stephanie isn't paying attention before turning back and speaking quietly to Jared. Hey, I feel like I really screwed up back there. Do you think she's mad at me?
I don't think she's mad at you. I think it's a stressful situation. There's no reason to be down on yourself.
It's just that slimy mayor guy called her out as the protector, and I didn't do anything. Like, that's the whole reason I'm out here on the road with her is to deflect attention and to take charge, and make sure nobody recognizes us. But I just froze up, and no one has called us out like that before, and I didn't know what to do, and I feel like I failed.
You didn't fail. His ambush is not your fault. His choice to do that was his own. He sucks. Fuck him.
She laughs when you swear, and she goes, oh my.
Yeah, straight up, fuck him. He sucks, and we're just going to get done with this little mission, and we'll never have to see him again, hopefully.
Oh, I hope so. And I hope he doesn't, honestly, I hope he doesn't have any news about the Petrichor Forest, because I'm kind of afraid to find out, or I'm afraid he might lie about it, I
honestly think he's lying about knowing anything, and if he says anything, it will also be a lie.
I mean, that you did call him out. You did say that you didn't trust him, and then he did this whole thing to us, so maybe you're right. Again, I guess. I don't know.
He's a scammer. He's scamming us right now. He's scammed in the past, and he'll scam in the future. I don't trust it. As a scammer to scammer, I don't like him.
I guess that's true. I guess you would know. I mean, I don't know if he's scamming us right now. Like, if the people are missing, we do have to help these people.
I'll believe him when I see him.
Oh, okay. And Ellie turns back to look at Stephanie again, and then looks back at the road stoically. And as she turns back around, she points her finger forward, Jared, that you see, and she goes, I think that's it. Is that it? And up in the distance, you spot a structure. It is the only building you've seen since you left Nountown, and the only building you can see in any direction at this point. And as you start to get closer, you can see that it's a small one-story house, the refraction of air making it look wavy in the heat waves.
Ooh, I love a cinematic moment.
I had to look up the thing that makes stuff look wavy in heat waves and learned it was called refraction, so I put it in.
Obsessed.
Does this have like a Western movie color grading? Is what we're looking at here? Is this like a Old West?
Everything's orangish.
Sepia
Yeah,
tones.
everything's sepia, yeah.
I guess, yeah, so we just get closer to the house, right? Do we notice anything outside?
Well, so you start to get closer to the house. Again, there's nothing else in any direction. There's, like, again, some cacti, but there's really nothing going on in this area. There's not like another building or another house or anything. So as you approach, are you just going to go right up to it, or do we have some kind of plan of approach that anybody wants to chime in on?
I was going to say, I think we should inspect every single cacti within a 5-mile radius for a trapdoor and or presence.
Fuck, you did it. You found it.
I use my passive perception of 24 and find whatever the fuck you want me to find.
She's going to do that all the time. She's going to do that a lot.
Wow, we're really going to just speed through these adventures with that perception level. Shit.
Yeah, puzzles and traps and people surprising you, which is out of the question now, I guess.
Stephanie, can you use your passive perception to see how many horse bones are within the vicinity of this building?
Good point. How many horse bones do I find?
0 this time. It was just the one time.
See, that is out of place. That means that there is something fishy going on here.
Yeah, we should be cautious when
there will
coming
always
up to
be a
this
dead
home.
horse somewhere. When there is no dead horses, that means that there's a lot of them somewhere else.
Especially in the sweltering heat. Where are the horse corpses?
How could you have Western movie color grading, cinematic color grading, and not a dead horse? That makes no sense at all.
My goodness.
Well, I mean, you joke, David/Val, but you do know 4 people have apparently come to this house in the past week. And you know it took you an hour to get there by horse, but there are no horses around.
Interesting.
So you jest, sir, but yet you might be onto something.
Damn, it's like the DM actually thought about this ahead of time.
No. That's like the DM has some sort of trauma related to horse bones from previous adventures.
Talk about storytelling.
My trauma of accidentally putting in horse bones in one story, yes. Learned my goddamn lesson.
I mean, we're just really concerned about horse, and Horace.
Obviously.
So
As
Our
you
best
should.
friends. Our besties.
they need to know that we love them. I can talk to them. We talk all the time, actually. It's like low-key fine. But, you know, I'm just trying... Gotta help them out, you know? They're traumatized. How would you feel?
Speaking of horse corpses, we did start a club called the Horse Corps at CORPS, where we are a group of fun horse folk with big horse girl energy.
Did you just name the group? Is that what we're called now?
Horsecore?
That's the genre of music you start with your new band.
Horsecore?
Oh, oh my God, hold on. I know we're derailing again, and it's thanks to me. I'm so sorry. But instead of the like, ooh, it's like, as a like, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Oh, it's instead of a blast beat, it's a gallop.
So this is actually what... so Horsecore is the name of our horses, right? That's their Horsecore metal
Oh, they are the
group.
Horse Corps. Okay.
They're the
Horse
horse
Corps.
corps, and when we're often doing like going, they're actually
riding.
practicing. It's band
Yes,
practice for them.
It's band practice, yeah.
What actually happens after that, even more so, is that when we get closer to the Halloween episode of Quest Friends Forever,
They're gonna
is
put on a
that-
show.
No. Well, yes, because that's how the episode starts, is that they put on a show for the town folk, but then all of the dead horses over at the horse cemetery of the town come back to life, and you find out that they're actually horses from the previous war, the big war. So now.
Oh, you mean the Horse War?
The horse lore.
Wait,
the horse
wait.
lore.
Wait, so there was a horse war, and then within the horse war, the soldiers that fought in the horse war were the Horse Corps, as in CORPS. But now,
But then there's a Horse Corps, CORPSE.
Now they are the Horse Corps Horse Corps fighting the Horse Corps, which is Horace, and Horace.
And has an idea this entire group is horse lore, technically.
Oh my god!
So, yeah, naturally.
Tune into our new podcast, Horsecore.
Okay.
So we're gonna need to do a one-off at one point where the 4 of us play Horse, and Horace and have our own adventure. I think.
dibs on horse.
Oh,
I call
so
dibs on horse.
down.
I think that's gonna need to happen.
Maybe that could be our Patreon introduction, our Patreon episode.
You guys.
What were we doing? What were we talking about?
Okay, plan of approach. There's nothing fishy, especially not horse bones, anywhere in the vicinity.
Is there a front door?
Of course, it's a house.
Do I perceive anything?
Dirt.
Okay.
You're about 50 yards from the house at this point. So
Do we see any sort of tracks or anything?
that would be investigation. So that's
Okay.
not passive, lady. That one you have to roll for with your 25 passive perception.
Ooh, that's a 14.
Yeah, so as you get closer to this house, you notice that there are some tracks on the ground. There are horse tracks, and then as you get closer to the house, there are footprints near the front of the house, as if
Egad.
maybe someone got off a horse and started walking.
Okay, how close are we at this point now?
To get up that close to see the footprints, you are now like pretty like 10, 20 yards from the
there.
house.
We're
So
there.
I tell the group, I say, shh, let's listen. And then we start listening for
When you
sounds
say
coming
that-
from the house.
When you say, shh, listen, I respond very loudly.
Sure thing.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Val, that was very helpful and perfect for the moment. I appreciate it.
Sure thing.
Okay. God damn it. Do we hear anything? Do I hear anything?
You're gonna have to roll for that.
Oh, fuck.
Passively, you don't notice any sound, but if you want to really, really put your ear to the ground, either metaphorically or literally, you would roll an investigation.
I rolled a 1.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no. So, Jared, you get off the horse and you put your ear to the ground, literally, to try to see what's happening. And an ant crawls into your ear.
Fuck,
Oh my
I knew you were
God.
going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
It doesn't bite you, but it's gross.
Does it tickle?
It tickles and it feels, you know, when you have like that feeling of when you have a bug on you and you just have to like freak out
ooh.
and like move
Yeah.
your arms.
But
and,
it's inside? Oh, God. I have nightmares about this, literally.
That's what I did, and now I'm running around the cart like, shit, and sticking my finger in my ear and all that.
I see Jared doing this, and I think he's dancing, and I'm like, hell yeah.
Let's drop the bass.
Yeah.
you're able to get the ant out, Jared, but it still feels like it's there. You know, like when you get a bug off you, but you still kind of
Yeah.
feel it all the time. And you're like, oh, is it still there? It's still there. And it's not. It's like that now. So now you just feel like it's there, even though
A
it's
phantom
not.
ant, and my skin is crawling.
You've got a fant.
Fan.
A fant.
You got a fant. The new monster that I'm going to pitch to Wizards of the Coast.
Gorge.
So you're parked out front. I guess I can describe the house to you.
Oh, yeah, what does that house look like?
So you all get off your horses and out of the back of the cart to do your various horse-related and ant-related activities. Ellie gets down. Stephanie, you also get out, I imagine.
Mhm.
And when you get out, Ellie kind of just looks at you, but then looks back down at the ground, kind of embarrassed. So as you get out of the cart, you now get a good look at this house. It looks extremely old and worn down, like it hasn't been tended to or perhaps even lived in for years. You can tell its stone exterior used to be white, but it now looks caked with yellow and brown from a combination of negligence and the desert. The wood trim around the roof and windows looks splintered and bleached by the unforgiving sun, and the same is true for the rotted wooden porch deck that lays outside the front door. You aren't able to see inside as the windows are covered with dark curtains, and there is no furniture or any items lying around outside. What do you do?
Val walks up very confidently up the steps onto the porch to go knock on the front door.
I run after Val, and I pick Val up, or attempt to pick Val up to stop them from knocking on the front door.
Both of you roll a dexterity saving throw, please.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I got 9.
I got an 18.
So as Val approaches the front door and Jared chases after them, Val, you feel the wooden porch beneath you creak and start to kind of collapse and crumble. So you expertly move to one side and you avoid falling into this wooden hole. Jared, you are not so lucky. As you reach out your arms and stumble after Val, you trip and fall into the hole that Val has now created. It's not very deep. The porch is elevated like a foot or so off the ground, but you fall into it and underneath. And you know when wood is, outside in the summer and it tends to have attracts a lot of bugs?
I'm familiar.
So you fall in and you instantly feel now up to your knee cobwebs and a few spiders crawling on you that you are now have to
Damn.
deal with. I didn't realize it was
Fuck
going to be such
me.
a bug-heavy episode
This is
so
a
quickly. but-
bug-heavy episode.
So now you are knee-deep in this rotted wooden porch.
Ouch.
Okay. So I immediately then like scream. So I'm like, ah! And then I like grab the edge of the broken thing and try to pull myself up. Do I pull myself up?
Yeah, you can pull yourself up. It's
Okay.
Again, it's not super difficult. It's just gross and letting you know that this shit here is decaying and gross and bad.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I scream again, and then I immediately throw my hand over my mouth to try to shield my own screams because I'm trying to be quiet.
I reach down I turn around to grab Jared by the shoulders, by sort of like his shirt collar, and try to pull him out of there. Not very like gently. I'm just whole force of a robot's arm, just yanking him out of this hole.
Yeah, between Val's efforts and Jared climbing out, you make it out. You're fine.
Gorge.
You don't take any damage. It's just nasty.
He's out, but I don't stop. I'm just
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
and I keep pulling, and I'm literally sliding him across the desert floor about 10 feet before I stop.
Oh my
Away
goodness.
from the house?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
At this point, I've given up, and I'm kind of just letting Val do what they need to do with me because Val's much stronger than I am, so there's no reason to argue with them.
Stephanie's gonna go over to Val, like witnessing this happen, and put her hands on Val's shoulders and say, "It's okay. He's fine. We can stop now."
Sure thing.
And then I let go.
Because there was a big commotion, do we hear anything from the inside of this house due to the sound outside?
Absolutely nothing happens.
Nothing at all.
There is no sound. There is no movement. There is nothing.
Okay, I say, I don't think anybody's home. Who cares now? And I march up to the front door and I kick it open.
I don't think anyone on this podcast has ever opened a door. I think every single door has been kicked open. I use the door kick sound effect in like 7 times per episode.
Amazing.
It's pretty great.
You must, especially on a call to adventure. It's a must. It's a must.
Yeah, this is
Look,
Dungeons
it's
and
a
Dragons. This is
trademark.
what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
It's a trademark. How many times have you seen like some superhero open a fucking door, right?
Yeah.
You kick it
Yeah.
down.
Door's broken. I've kicked it in. What do I see?
The door flies off its hinges. This is an old, shitty door. It was also unlocked, but because of this, it's even easier to fly off. So, kicking open the door casts the light from outside into the house, illuminating the otherwise dark place. You can now see that every window is covered by heavy-looking black curtains that completely block out any and all incoming light. The air inside is stale, like it hasn't moved in ages, and with the light coming in now, you can see particles of dust floating through the air in every direction. You find yourself in a small living room where what looks like a couch, an armchair, and a coffee table are covered by white sheets. The table sits on top of a white owl bear skin rug, with the creature's head still intact, facing you in the doorway, its mouth forever frozen in a snarl. On the far wall, there is another white sheet covering what looks like it could be a mounted painting on one of the walls. To your left, you can see a kitchen, and to your right is a hallway that leads to a closed door. What would you like to do?
I open all of the curtains.
So you allow this harsh sunlight from outside to now pour into this house, and again, you just see these dusty particles just everywhere through the air. This place, it looks like it's been sitting this way for years. It is not a great sight. It also smells kind of stale and dank. I don't know if dank's the right word, but it's a cool word, so I'll say it anyway. It's dank. Yeah, nothing happens magically, but it's illuminated in here now.
Val sees Stephanie opening up the curtains and, of course, wants to follow suit. So Val runs over to the painting and pulls down the cover from the painting.
You have revealed a portrait, a painted portrait on this wall of 2 men in their late 20s or early 30s sitting next to each other in separate armchairs in what looks like some kind of library or study. The one
So
on the
they're gay?
left...
Sorry. It's a buddy photo. They're gay, for sure. Anyways, continue. My bad.
The man on the left looks lean and slender with closely buzzed red hair and a red goatee, while the one on the right is bigger and stockier with messy brown hair and a mustache. Both men are staring directly forward, emotionless and stoic, and each is dressed in all white.
Val tips backwards as if to look up and says,
Greetings. I am a Variance Alpha Psionic Altonian Lexo Transceiver Unit, model number XFCED.
and then Val realizes that it's a painting and then stops and then just says,
Hello.
And that's it.
Aw.
The sound echoes off the walls in the house, and nothing changes. The painting does not acknowledge you.
I address the painting. I acknowledge it. I reach for the painting and I move it to the side. Is it stuck to the wall or is it just hanging?
It's hanging on the wall.
It's hanging. I lift it. Is there anything behind the painting?
No, there is nothing behind the painting. You just see the walls like a different color behind this painting. You know,
Yeah.
like when you take something down that's been up for a long time, it's like lighter now on this part of the wall, indicating that, again, this has been sitting for years and years, but there is no secret safe or anything behind the painting.
You said there was another door?
So to the left of this living room looks like some kind of kitchen, and to the right of this living room is a hallway that leads to a closed door.
Val runs over to the door and knocks on the door.
This time you knock.
Yeah. Anything?
Okay. Nothing happens.
And then Val kicks in the door.
God damn it. God damn it. This door also flies off its hinges and just falls into the room. In this room, you notice that there is some wallpaper on the walls that looks ripped in some sections and just rotting off in others. There is a mattress on the floor with no frame around it, and this mattress also looks rotted and holy, with an E, not like from religion, like it has holes in it. Above the mattress on the wall, there are some nails and a dusty outline as if something was once hung there. And there is no other furniture in this room, but there is what looks like a closet door on one wall.
Val goes over to the closet door. And before I kick it in, I guess I'll do an investigation check to see if I can hear anything or if I can tell if there's something in there.
Sure.
That's a crit fail. Do I fall into the closet?
It
So-
just falls into the door, trying to
Yeah,
lean
so
over to
you-
listen.
I guess you put where your ear would be up to the door. I'm not sure what part of Val is the listening part.
So that's what happens. Instead of listening to it, I basically headbutt the door open.
Yeah, you try
what
to do this cool and stealthy move that you've seen others do, but you just put your whole glass dome through this closet door. And so now just your head is sticking through. Val, do you have dark vision?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you can see then, because this closet is obviously very dark. There's no lights in here. But you can see something in this closet. Inside this closet, on the ground, is a skeleton. Next to this skeleton is a broken piece of wood. It looks like it was a broken leg off of a chair. And a rolled up piece of cloth also near the skeleton's hand.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
And then, because I've made a discovery, and then now it's time for me to back out and tell the rest of the gang what happened. But I can't?
Ouch. Ouch. Ouch.
While he was doing all of that, I was investigating the kitchen, just kind of looking around to see what's in there.
It is completely devoid of any furniture or any item on the counters, save for one tipped over wooden chair in the middle of the floor with one of its legs broken off.
I checked the drawers and the cabinets.
You open up some of these drawers and they're completely empty. But when you go to open one of the cabinets, a small, I wouldn't say army, but they're not an army. A lot of cockroaches come pouring out of this cabinet and are now.
You
my
were
goodness.
hoping that was gonna be me.
I kind of was at this point.
My goodness.
Oh my god!
They crawl out of the cabinet and up the walls and into cracks in the walls and disappear. But it is quite gross and quite startling.
That is quite gross and quite startling.
She says out loud.
But there's nothing.
Otherwise, no, just the chair with the broken leg.
I acknowledge Val and the alerting.
Ouch. Ouch.
So
Ouch.
I attempt to follow Val to wherever it is that they were at. So I go down and I'm like, "What's going on?"
Do you at least help me out?
Do I?
I mean, if you want to open the door.
Okay.
Or you
yes.
could just finish breaking it down.
I kick the door around Val to destroy what remains of this decrepit door.
Thank you for your assistance. You've been a great help.
Because it's old wood, it kind of just disintegrates and breaks, kind of like particle board around Val. It's easy to fall apart, so Val's free. And I'm like, oh no, when I see the bones.
I point at the bones and I say,
Hello.
Yeah, let me call Stephanie. I yell your name. I'm like, 70, come here.
And when you turn around, I'm literally right behind you because, of course, if Val is saying ouch, 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 I'm absolutely going to come. So you turn around and you just kind of yell in my face.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, 70. Oh, you're here. Look, we found a corpse. Or rather, was a corpse.
I found bugs.
What a lovely house. Rather, a home.
Where is Ellie throughout all this?
Right behind Stephanie, but seeming a little timid, still kind of embarrassed from what she was talking to Jared about.
And I'm just going to say Stephanie has no idea about any of that. So, yeah. Cool. So I'm going to look inside at what's happening. Does it look like the wooden piece belongs to that chair that I found?
It absolutely does.
Okay. And you said there's like a cloth wrapped around it?
Some kind of cloth like wrapped into a ball.
Oh,
Okay.
well then I'm going to open that.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, like a tablecloth or like a flag or something. Someone would
Yeah, I'm
bunch up.
gonna open it.
So you unroll this cloth and you reveal that it is a God square, which you know that the citizens of Constance typically keep in their homes to acknowledge the overgods and undergods, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except on this particular one,
It's covered in blood.
all of the god's symbols have been crossed out with red X's.
Oh, that was
And
close.
Stephanie, with your ridiculous perception, you noticed that these red X's are in fact made of blood.
I win.
Cool. I'm gonna grab the chair thing, I guess.
The leg.
The leg, yes, thank you. That's the word. The chair leg. Is there any blood or anything on it that I can see?
There's a little bit of blood on the part where it was broken, the splintery part.
Interesting.
Cool.
But it looks dried, like it's been there for a long time.
Oh,
Does the wooden leg look like it's been sharpened in any kind of fashion?
Not extra. It's just splintery from where it got broken off of a chair.
And is there a bunch of blood around the skeleton, like dried blood?
There is a little bit of blood on the floor near their arms, yes.
Yeah.
This is a humanoid skeleton, by the way, if I didn't say that.
What is the
Yeah.
skeleton wearing? What kind of clothes is this corpse wearing?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, it's just skeletons. So this was a naked person at some point.
scandalous.
Okay.
Okay. Like most mattresses on floors, there is probably something hiding beneath. So I walk to the mattress and I lift it up. Is it more bugs?
No,
It
oh
is
my
now.
God.
I mean, you can make it bugs, Danny. You're the DM.
I should have. The cockroaches were just in the kitchen.
It's just a bunch of moths that come up.
It's one singular scorpion. That's really
if you're going to
angry.
bite me with bugs, make them radioactive so I get powers, please.
Jared, you lift this mattress up. First of all, it's gross, like it's dusty, and like your
Oh.
hand almost like goes through it, like it's just so rotted. But you are able to lift it up, and there is a hatch in the floor that was covered by this mattress.
Obsessed. I scream to the group, "Hey, I found something." They notice. I notice. We
Yeah,
notice.
you're all in the same bedroom, so everybody hears you.
Okay,
You're 5
perfect.
feet away from me.
What is it a hatch like with like a turning vault wheel? Is it just like a rope lever?
It's just got like a iron handle that you could just lift.
Oh,
It's like a,
it's
just a wooden
fancy.
square in
Okay.
the ground.
There's no lock on it or anything?
There is no lock that you can see.
Val
Okay,
opens
so
it.
Oh, Val? Oh, okay. Oh, well, I guess yeah, Val's stronger than I am.
Yeah, it's big. Yeah.
I mean, it's not really an issue of strength. It's just a open, unlocked wooden hatch. So yeah, you fling it right open.
I mean, look, it's really hard to open doors. I'm sure hatches are also very difficult, so we need all the strength that we can get, Danny.
We really do.
It
But,
flies
well-
open.
I was gonna say Val's also not very. There's not a lot of finesse there. Does Val pull the door off the hinges?
I mean, how hard are you doing it? Do a strength check.
Okay, strength check.
Are you trying to pull it off its hinges?
No, but Val doesn't know any better and is a big, strong, angry robot war machine bot thing. I got a 12.
Yeah, sure, you pull it off. It's old and shitty. Yeah, you go to you grab this handle and you go to pull it open and you just rip the whole thing out of the floor.
Oh, gorgeous.
I just want to make sure that we're staying on brand.
There's a square hole in the floor now.
Okay, so what's down there?
It is quite dark, but I guess Val, Stephanie, and Ellie can see. Sorry, Jared, you don't have dark vision. You're a human.
Aww.
But you can see some wooden stairs leading down.
Is it like a spiral staircase?
No, it just goes straight down.
I'll go down.
Val casts dancing lights, so now we've got glow sticks to light the way.
Also very on brand.
Yeah.
What colors are they?
It's like a RGB mechanical keyboard.
So this hole is now illuminated by RGB lights, and you see it's about, it is a dozen steps down to a small landing.
Yes, I'm going. I'm already going down.
So you go down a dozen steps to a small landing. And at the bottom of this, the landing is like concrete. You're now below the house, obviously. This is a concrete landing. There is a closed wooden door in front of you.
Ooh, who wants it?
Jess, would you do the honors? Do you want to kick down doors? I feel like we've kicked down enough doors.
First, I'm going to do a perception check to see if I hear anything.
Boo.
My passive is 24. Do you still want me to roll?
No, you don't need to roll.
I got an 18 plus 9. So
So even
it's
better, you got
better.
27. So you put your ear up to this door and you hear complete silence and nothingness.
I look back over my shoulder to make sure the whole group is watching me. Are they watching? Do they see you? Are they waiting in anticipation?
Everyone's kind of just waiting for what you're going to do. I think they all know in their hearts what's about to happen.
I go to look like I'm gonna open the door with my hand. You know, I'm going to actually open it the way that you open the door as a normal human.
When she does that, she hears an audible gasp.
Can Val gasp?
Yeah.
Hello.
So I gotta do that, and then at the last second, I kick it down.
Woo!
Roll me a strength check, because this door is a little bit sturdier,
Ooh.
which is going to be interesting.
I got a 5.
So much to everyone's surprise, since we've just been ripping doors off hinges in this house so far, you go to kick this door, and you kick it as hard as you can, and it just stays. Nothing happens at all.
Look, we're not doing this anymore. This is bullshit.
Val charges headfirst into the door like a battering ram.
It has a handle.
Before Val does that, I just open the door. I'm just gonna open it. I'm done
Val
with
is
this.
still charging
You still gonna
full
charge
blast
in?
at this door. Yes.
Head down.
Yeah, like a juggernaut, basically.
Okay, Val, roll a deck save.
Oh, no. Ooh, 18.
You're able to keep your balance, and you regain your footing, and you don't fall down into this room.
Oh my goodness.
And no bugs come out.
Thank you.
Hello, all my podcast friends. This is Danny, the DM, popping in here real quick in the middle of the episode to say hello and give you a few messages. We'll try to get through it quick this time, so let's do it. I wanted to start off by telling you about our social media pages that you are always free to visit and even follow if you're feeling, zesty, I guess. Those are on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube, usually just at Quest Friends Forever or at Quest Friends Forever Pod. Go ahead and take a look at what we've got going on over there. There'll always be new episode announcements and fan art. Big shout out to our friend Kat for doing a lot of fan art of the pod already. Really great stuff. So, hey, you never know. It's just best to be on those and following us. You never fall behind with your Quest Friends Forever needs. If you have the time or energy or goodness in your heart also, we would love it and be very, very grateful if you were able to leave us a review or a rating on your podcast app of choice, such as iTunes or Apple Podcasts, I guess it is now, or Spotify or Stitcher or whatever. Those reviews and ratings really help us get more visibility, I guess, or audibility, since it's an audio medium. Not important. It helps us get to more people, extend our reach a little bit, and really spread the good old-fashioned D&D fun. So, 5 stars is a pretty good number, just a nice round number to throw out there. Give it a shot. I bet it'll make you feel good inside to do. Don't forget, we are also part of the Nostalgia Network, which is a podcast network featuring our own podcast, Quest Friends Forever, as well as podcasts like The Lousy Advice Podcast, which stars Eric Lefebvre, who is Jared on our show, and his band Lousy Advice, as they discuss music top lists and favorites and preferences and all kinds of fun stuff with lots of fun guests from the musical world. And there's also a show on there called Nostalgia, for which the network is named, our flagship show, if you will, starring Eric and Jessica Tercero, who is Stephanie from our podcast. That's the one where they talk about movies and remakes and sequels through a queer and feminist lens. And as the editor of that podcast, I can tell you that it is quite good. So, you can take my word for it. I'm obviously very trustworthy. Also wanted to give credit to David Tercero, a.k.a. Val, from our podcast, for doing all of our various episode art. We have a different piece of art for every episode that goes up on the internet. David does all those himself. Thank you, David. And our Quest Friends Forever theme, which plays under the previously on at the beginning and over the outro as we end every episode in dramatic fashion. That music is done by our own Eric Lefebvre. So thank you to my friends who are very talented, who make our podcast look and sound even better than it already is. Let's go ahead and get back to the action so we can figure out what is going on in this scary little house we find ourselves in. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you all in 2 weeks. Bye-bye. So, you open this much heavier door that you have found in the hatch, and it takes you into a long and narrow hallway with red carpeting on the floor. There are no windows down here, making it difficult to see clearly, but we have the dancing lights, so I guess you're fine. Along the walls on each side are more dusty square outlines indicating things were once hung up here. Up ahead, you see that the hallway curves to the right, and about halfway up to that point, you see there is a tipped-over grandfather clock on the ground, its glass face broken, and its hand stuck in place at 8:15, no longer able to tick forward.
I walk. I go. Yeah.
You just go past everything?
I follow, yeah.
I'll probably stop at the grandfather clock, or is
Okay.
that at the very end?
It's about halfway down the hall,
Oh, okay.
halfway till it curves to the right. Curves to the right, excuse me.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop in and check out the clock.
It looks like it maybe fell over, like the impact of it hitting the ground looks like what broke it, because the glass is kind of shattered on that side, and it's got like some dents in the side where it's on the ground now.
I'm gonna pick it up and put it back up.
Okay, it's pretty heavy, so either do a strength check or ask for help. This
I'm
is
gonna
a
do this
heavy-ass clock.
with the 12. Oh, maybe somebody should help me right now.
I run over and I assist mid-lift.
With Jared's help, you maybe could have had it on your own, but with Jared's help now, you're able to put this clock back upright. And it rocks a little bit as you get it back on its bottom, and you've put the clock upright.
Can I investigate the clock to see if there's any secret compartments?
Sure.
I'm walking forward as Val is doing that.
I'm also standing near the clock.
I got a crit 20.
Wow. You amazingly and expertly find that there is nothing special about this clock. But God, you do a great job of figuring it out. It's just, it's got clock parts. You open up like the little front panel and it's like the clock guts, but I don't know how
Is there
clocks work.
anything as an actual machine myself that I can loot from this clock?
I guess there's like gears and stuff in the clock. Again, I don't know how clocks work, but there's probably gears in it.
Would you just put your hand in there and
Yeah, I'm going to.
unfinessely
So here's what you
just
see. So there's 2 doors that open up to get to the gears, the innards of this giant grandfather clock. You see Val carefully, surgically open one door and then pause and then carefully, surgically open the other door on the opposite side and then very slowly goes in, and you see one of the robot claws come up and very, very, very slowly get to a point and then stops and then slams into the gears, grabbing a whole handful of gears and just kind of pulls the whole thing out, completely destroying the clock.
Amazing.
Got it. And then the back compartment on the chassis of Val pops open, and then Val shoves the gears in with the laugh doll and the flyers for the.
I'm sorry, the what?
What's it called?
The Chucklebuck.
The chuckle
TM,
book.
TM,
Yeah.
TM, TM. That's our first merchandising opportunity. Okay, so you've got a bunch of loose gears. So, Stephanie, you walk forward and you turn the corner, the corner here.
Yeah.
Okay. You turn the corner and you see the hallway continues, and that there are 2 more doors now. There is one straight in front of you at the very end of this hall that is closed, and there's another one to your immediate right that is closed. You open this door and you reveal a small library. It's about the same size as the bedroom was upstairs, so not too big, but not super small. It's not like a closet or anything. But there are books of all sizes and colors lining every wall, top to bottom. And in the middle of this room, there is a simple wooden table with a single wooden chair pushed into it, like push your chair in, kind of thing. And there is an unlit candle on the table.
So I'll light the candle and I want to see what kind of books are in here.
As you light the candle, Stephanie, you hear movement coming from one of the shelves as you do this.
Hocus pocus.
It sounds like the sound of a book being pushed onto a shelf.
Hello.
Hello.
Nothing happens.
Okay, well, I go look at the books. I go look where that sound was.
There's a shit ton. What are you like taking every one of them down and looking through them, or are you looking for anything specific?
I'm trying to figure out if there's like some sort of common theme with the books that are in here. So just kind of like you would when you're like in a bookstore or a library trying to like figure out what section you're in, or
It's
it's
all hentai.
Oh my god. Naturally. Wait, I have a genuine. Am I in the room? Have I walked into the room?
Sure.
You said the sound. It was like a book being pushed.
Like when you move a book on a shelf, like you're going through books, you kind of pull one out and push it back.
It was a sound of a singular book.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can tell where the sound is coming from with my 24 perception.
Oh, you know what? That's
Oh,
right.
shit.
God damn it! Because I was gonna say you know exactly where it's coming from, but you're okay. Yes, you go for it. I was gonna say let's look at the dust prints on each shelf to see what dust has moved suddenly to discover the book.
You can absolutely be doing that while I'm
But you
following.
find
Well,
it.
she just goes over and picks up the book.
Well,
Yes,
no.
okay.
Like, I mean, like that's a good idea because, like, if anybody has like done any sort of movement or anything, we could be investigating different things. So I'm kind of like loosely trying to take in what this library is focused on, while I'm moving towards wherever that sound came from.
Then I will go to the opposite side of the room and inspect the bookshelf dust myself on one side while you're inspecting the other.
So I will say, with Stephanie's good ass perception, you know which wall this sound came from.
Mm-hmm.
It was the one behind you when you lit the candle. So you know what wall it is, but I wouldn't say you know exactly what book it was at this point.
Yeah, that's super, super fair. So I'm looking at all of the books, and what do I see on that shelf?
So it's a lot of, we'll say, history, a lot of like encyclopedia type stuff, but this looks old. None of it looks very new or current. There's some that are just like maps of Constance.
Is there any theme through like what kind of history?
It's just kind of like encyclopedias, like you're basically reading like a Wikipedia page, like
It's all of the history.
yeah, it's the complete history of Constance, volumes 1 through 100. But there's also sprinkled in there's also some art books, people sketching horses and knights and stuff. But there doesn't seem to be any one singular theme. It just looks like this is a quite a library here.
Is there a book that looks like it doesn't belong in this collection?
You notice about eye level to you on this one shelf, there is one book that doesn't have any writing on it. A lot of books on the spine have the title or the author. There is one that is purple, and it is blank. And it is the only blank one on the shelf.
I grab it.
It comes out. It's not a secret trap or anything.
Okay, I'm just kind of going to look at its contents.
So this book is completely blank.
I'm going to pocket it. And I'm just going to keep looking around at all of the different books just to See, is it all still history in this? Is this all history and like bullshit like that?
Yeah, it's in some of it's like encyclopedias, like
It's history and bullshit like that.
medical journal of a zebra's biology or whatever. Like,
Is there do I find anything on the war or on anything about like the robots?
oh, the great
Which
one,
war?
The
the
great
big one.
The big one.
yeah,
The great one.
No, because that is too recent. That's only been within the last few decades. This library is much older than that, you gather, by the fact that there is not a lot of recent history here.
Nothing on robots or anything either.
Nothing on robots.
Okay.
I notice Stephanie grab this book. I walk over to her and ask, "Do you mind if I take a look?"
Sure.
Okay. And here's a wild question. I know thieves can't. Is this written in some kind of invisible language that
I like
only somebody who
invisible.
knows thieves?
Invisible.
Yes, thank you.
That's
so
the
much.
D&D version.
The invisible language. Do I see anything on the page?
So thieves can't. I don't think is like invisible writing necessarily. It's kind of like this sort of like symbology that only you would understand. I would say, Jared.
But it's visible. Okay.
Yeah, but as you hold open this book and like study it, so Stephanie kind of flipped through it, saw it was blank, put it in her bag. You, Jared, hold the book open for a while and are staring at it to look for these things. And as you do, words start appearing on the page as if they are being
Jesus
written in real
Christ.
time.
Okay. I don't need like citrus or a hairdryer or anything for this. This is just.
No, these words just start appearing.
Oh my God. Yes.
And actually, it's just one word.
Everyone, I can read it. A word appeared. It says trapped, but spelled like the band. TRAPT.
No, it is
Shit.
not. It is
No,
not.
I'm kidding. It's trapped.
Okay. I come over and I look at the book and I'm like, oh, weird. I didn't see anything. And then I look. Do I see it too?
Yes, now you see it.
So it says trapped.
How?
That's a good. Yeah. Let's talk to the book and see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say that looking at the book. Does anything happen?
Weak.
Okay.
It says weak.
Do you require assistance? Can we help you? Do you want help? Wow, that's a lot of questions.
Help.
Okay.
Val looks at the book and says,
Greetings. I am a variance alpha psionic Altonian Lexotransceiver unit, model number XFCED001. But you can call me Val for short. It's great to meet you.
The book
Just is
now
okay.
just said okay. Okay. I say to the book, help how? Okay, trapped again. Okay, book. You need to help us with this nonsense. Trapped.
How were you trapped? Oh, cool. Demon. Love that.
Sick.
Love it.
Love,
Okay.
Love.
Are you from Nountown?
Nountown.
Got it. Okay. Do you know how we can help you?
Clock. Oh. Okay.
Val's back compartment plung opens, and Val reaches and grabs a single gear and places the gear on the book.
Nothing happens.
Okay.
I'm gonna suggest, because the clock stopped at 8:15, I'm assuming that's when these people were trapped. So, what if I turn to page 8 in this book, the 8th page of this book?
So all the pages in between are empty, and you arrive on page 8, and it is also empty. And you stare at it a little bit longer, and then the writing starts appearing again as if it like it did on page 1.
Clock again.
Val excitedly bounces like a single bounce to go like, oh, but with the movement of the chassis. And then Val turns around and runs out of the room over to the clock and then reaches up, but because Val's short, so can't really reach.
Hello.
And Val it's like think of a kid trying to reach the cookie jar at the top of the fridge, but the kid is short, so it can't quite do it. That's what Val's doing right now.
Good visual.
What time?
Fix.
Okay, I didn't see Val fuck up the clock, so I don't realize how much of a task this is going to be. So, yeah, sure. Let's go. Should we shut the book? Does that hurt you? Do you want to be open or closed?
It just says
So
trapped.
still trapped, which means close, right?
Good. We love this repetition.
I'd honestly say this ghost is a little headstrong.
I'm gonna go to the clock.
No, that's another band. That's not trapped. That's another band.
That
That's
is
a
trapped.
song.
That's trapped.
Oh,
Headstrong,
there is a band that I'm thinking of
you
that's actually called
are.
Headstrong. Never mind.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Wow.
Okay. We go to the clock, and
Hello.
I'm gonna attempt to. I'm gonna open it up and try to
Nobody's
use my
paying attention to
mechanical.
the fact that Val is very much trying to touch the clock.
I'm trying to fix it. I say, "Thank you, Val. Just a minute. Here, can you scoot over?" And I'm gonna open it up and see what I can do to fix it with the very limited knowledge and know-how that I have.
Val kneels down next to you and hands you one of the gears.
Just one.
Yeah, a single one.
So, Stephanie, you notice that there are some gears missing from this clock.
I look at the gear. I look
When
at
you
Val.
take it, I reach back and I grab another gear, and then I go to give it to you.
Val, did you take these from this clock?
Sure thing.
How many of these do you have?
Do you take the second gear that Val is gesturing to?
Yes,
hand
I
to you?
do.
Val reaches back and grabs one more gear, and then slowly hands it out towards you to take.
Can you give me all of them at once instead of just one at a time?
Sure thing.
Blank, and then they all fall on the ground in a pile.
Joy. Okay. So I kind of like lay everything out, see what I'm working with, look at what's going on in the clock, see what I can do to make it put together again.
Jared, what are you doing while this is happening?
I'm still in the room with the book. Because it's
Okay.
right around the corner, right?
Yeah, you're just about around the corner.
Okay, I'm I want to inspect all the books, but you said there's too many, right?
I mean, there's too many to pull out and read, but like you can scan for titles and covers and stuff if you're looking for something specific.
I'm looking for a clock book.
Interesting.
Like a how to fix clocks or something that has to do with like how to put a clock back together.
Do an investigation roll.
I'm going to do an investigation roll. That's a good idea.
Us
Okay.
working together.
So I got a 9.
So you don't find anything yet on the first wall that you look at.
Okay, I go to the next wall and I try again.
So that's going to take you a little bit of time. So while you're doing that, if you would have rolled higher, you maybe could have found it a little quicker. But since that's going to take you some time, we'll cut back to the folks at the clock.
Oh, I know it's here. I know it's here.
I'm going to say Stefan, or at least probably with Jared, looking at all the books. Like, not as like they're going to find it quicker or anything, but like I feel like we wouldn't necessarily leave one person alone in a big, creepy house.
So Ellie has just been following you around, Stephanie, but if you want to ask her to do that.
Oh, okay. Hey, Ellie, Jared's alone in there, right? We probably shouldn't leave people alone. Do you mind going? Because, I mean, I like that book just said demon and trapped, so maybe being alone is not the best idea. Can you just go in the other room and then, like, let me know if anything bad happens?
She smiles, but it seems a little forced, and she's like, "Yeah, I can go watch Jared if you want me to leave."
I mean, or if you're more comfortable here,
No,
that's
it's okay.
too.
I'll go over there.
That's
it's
okay.
fine.
Why
It's fine.
don't actually, Val? Why don't you go with Jared?
Sure thing.
Cool.
And then Val, very quickly, without any hesitation, gets up and runs into the library.
That was, and I turned to Ellie and I'm like, that was probably the better idea, honestly. Look at what Val did.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't a great idea, I guess.
Okay, so now I'm going to town.
Cool. So you have tools, right?
Yes, I do. From
DJ.
From DJ.
So why don't we roll for this? Let's say it was going to be intelligence for you to know how to do this, but I'm going to have you roll with disadvantage since this is a bit unfamiliar to you.
I got a 15 and a 7.
So you start tinkering around in there. You don't break anything worse, but you're having a little bit of trouble figuring out what goes where. And Ellie's kind of leaning in, kind of looking with you, like trying to figure out what goes where. But you both are not really familiar with this type of object. So, hey, Val and Jared, are you able to find anything now that maybe would help?
Do I have to roll again?
Yeah, now you're on a different wall. Both of you can roll
Play
investigation.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
I got a 16.
I got a 9.
Val, you find nothing. Jared, as you're combing this second wall of books and items, you see a kind of a skinny red book that you kind of pull out and check, and it is Jim Johnson's Clock Repair Manual and asparagus recipes.
Oh, wow. What a combo. Obsessed.
He's a heavy hitter.
I immediately scream, I found it! And I run out of the room around the corner to the clock. Let's fix the clock.
Oh, yes, that is very helpful, actually, because and I just kind of like look down at the pile of gears in front of me, look up at the clock and look at you, and grab the book.
Val grabs a book, some book.
What book is it?
You tell me, DM.
No, you tell me what book it is. There's hundreds of books in this room. What do you pull out?
What about Plums and Plumery?
There you go. It's Plums and Plumery.
Hey, a guide to stone fruit. Sorry.
Who's it by?
Anyways, who's it by?
Yeah.
Gnarls Barkley, the band.
Amazing. So multi-talented.
Incredible.
But this is the fantasy world, so he's actually a basketball player.
Gnarls Barkley is the basketball
Gnarls Barkley,
player?
the basketball player.
Oh
and
my
Charles
God.
Barkley is the band. It's I see.
Yes.
You flipped it. See?
That's what it is.
Wow.
Subverting expectations. Go ahead,
much.
David.
And then so Val runs out of the library and shoulder to shoulder right next to Jared, and then holds out the book and says,
Hello.
You're very excited that you also found a book?
yes.
Cute. So now with the knowledge of Jim Johnson's Clock Repair and Asparagus Recipe Manual, now go ahead and try to fix the clock, but with advantage. Stephanie. Are you still doing it, Stephanie, or are you giving the tools to Jared?
Oh no, I'm doing this.
Okay.
These are my tools. Thank you.
Yeah, I just brought the knowledge. That's all I brought. I brought the book.
I dropped the base.
Oh my God. I still got a 7.
That's the best you got with advantage?
Yes, I got a 5 and a 7. So I say, hey, Jared.
Yes.
Actually, Jared, Elliot, can you like walk me through this? Like, I'm imagining that these are like IKEA instructions where it's not actually like, and I don't know which pieces I have. And I'm also like picking up somebody else's work in the middle of it. Right. So I'm going to need a little bit of help. Can you all help me? And what I'm asking from them is for them to, I'm going to be like, what is this? Or where does this go? And kind of like have them kind of
Walk you through it.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that that visual of them kind of narrating to you. What's that game? Keep talking and nobody explodes. It's kind of like that where they're trying to tell you put this thing in there, but you're like, yeah, that's a great visual. Cool. So this time, then roll again with advantage, Stephanie, and then Jared roll a d4.
I rolled a 1. Success.
I rolled a 15.
Ellie rolled a 3. So altogether, we get a 19.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a little bit of time. It takes 10 minutes, say.
Is there a montage of like Ellie reaching in to wipe the sweat off of Stephanie's brow while she's like both hands are on inside the clock kind of thing?
Yeah, it's actually a really, really similar montage from 2 episodes ago when we're doing surgery on Val. It's very, very similar, only this time it's surgery on a clock. So it doesn't take nearly as long because the
What
clock
about
is
a
less
grape?
complicated. I hear they did do surgery on a grape, and I am proud that meme is not dead yet. But
it is now.
so chooky.
Chuggy.
So it takes about 10 minutes, and you're able to repair all these gears that Val ripped out.
Whoops.
But then additionally, the clock mechanisms that were not working in the first place from when it got tipped over. And the glass is still broken, obviously, because you don't create glass.
Sure.
But it begins to whir back to life, and now you hear the ticking of the clock, which you had not heard before, and this clock is back on.
Open the book.
I open the book. What do I see?
So the words that were there before
Uh-huh.
are now gone, and new words start to appear, as if being written.
Oh my goodness.
That's my line.
Sorry. Trapped by demon. Must lure out. Oh, I'm actually good. I'm going to close the book. We're going to leave now. Calling it a day. Kill demon to free. Okay. What do we have to do? Like blood on the book? Must lure out.
Okay.
Demon, you're not good at sports, and I bet you have weak ankles, you asshole. Is that helping?
Oh, the demon appears and he's so mad. It's a demon named Chad, and he's like,
Really?
no.
Oh, that would have been so funny.
I'm going to look at everybody and I'm going to say, I got it. And I'm going to go to the clock and I'm going to make it so it's 4:20.
Oh.
Oh. It says the book
It
now says blaze it.
it. Oh
What if
my
you
God.
do? What if you do like the hand, like the minute hand to 6, and then the hour hand to 9? Oh, it says nice. That's good.
Okay, what if I moved the hour hand, the minute hand, and the second hand all to 6?
Ooh.
That's a sweet idea, but nothing happens.
Oh,
You're
God
so
damn
mad that
it.
you didn't think of that.
That'd be pretty sick.
That would be pretty sick.
I am pretty mad I didn't think of that.
There was another door, correct?
Door at the end of the hallway, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Val
Somebody
goes.
kick it.
Val goes to
kick
that
it.
door and gestures to kick the door, but then pauses before actually kicking the door down, and then the foot goes down, and then Val turns around to make sure that everybody was at least looking at them. Val needs credit for this. Is everybody paying attention to what Val's doing?
Yes.
Yeah, we're watching, Ellie says.
And then Val says,
Sure thing.
and then Val kicks the door open.
Do a strength check, because this is also a heavier door than you had upstairs.
That's a 19.
Yeah, you get it. It doesn't fly off the hinges, but it definitely opens.
Is there at least a little bit of splintering in it, though?
Tiny bit, not a lot. It's a pretty heavy door. Opening this door reveals a wooden staircase that leads downward.
Oh, no.
I go.
I go too.
I also go.
So does Ellie. You go down 12 steps and come to a small landing with a closed wooden door in front of you.
I open.
Entering this door takes you into a long and narrow hallway with red carpet on the floor. There are no windows in here, making it difficult to see clearly. Along the walls on each side are dusty square outlines, about 8 on each side, indicating things were once hung up here. Up ahead, you see that the hallway curves to the right, and about halfway up the hall, there's a tipped-over grandfather clock on the ground, its glass face broken and its hand stuck in place at 8:15, no longer able to tick forward.
Motherfucker.
Somehow, you are back in the exact same hallway you were just in.
God damn it.
This podcast has been brought to you by the Nostalgia Network.
Visit thenostalgianetwork.com for more.
Don't you hate when you're watching one of your favorite movies and think, whoa, that didn't age well?
Or when you see a reboot of your childhood fave and think, did we really need this?
Honestly,
Same.
That's why we started the Nostalgia Podcast.
A podcast where we discuss the retelling or continuation of pop culture favorites as seen through a queer and feminist lens.
That's Jessica Tercero.
And that's Eric Lefebvre.
Come join us for our bi-weekly conversations about pop culture reboots centered around things like
The patriarchy,
systemic racism,
harmful stereotypes and overgeneralizations.
and really just distinguishing when people just need to sit this one out.
Listen in on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcasts.
You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube.
That's Nostalgia, spelled Nostalgia. Get it?
Not nostalgia. Like nostalgia, but with an extra T, so it's like not nostalgia.
Follow us for fun, critical conversations about media. And remember, stay cute.
And stay critical.
Bye-bye.
Bye.